Now this is very important for any home improvement company to remember this, but when would an agency recommend Meta versus Google Ads? And hey, I'm Carl Stoy, the founder of Stoy Media, and we're both an agency and a lead vendor for home improvement companies. And we've ran a lot of Meta ads, and we've also ran Google Ads. And so there's a time when I recommend Meta ads, and there's a time when I recommend Google Ads. But first, you need to understand the differences that differentiate Meta from Google Ads. And number one, your required budget is very different. So we're going to put first, required budget. See, for Meta, you're going to need really any budget, or $50 a day or more is usually my recommendation. I mean, I wouldn't really run ads for under $50 a day for Meta. So $50 a day is the minimum. Now for Google Ads, you need a lot more monthly budget. And I'll switch this over to monthly budget. I would recommend at the minimum, you have a $1,500 a month or more budget for Meta ads. And then for Google Ads, I would recommend $10,000 a month or more for Google Ads to be able to profitably run Google Ads. Because here's the thing, for Google Ads, your CPCs are pretty high, meaning your cost per click. For Meta, you run on a CPM. We're gonna talk about that in a moment. Actually, we're gonna talk about that right now. Bid, Meta is CPM, Google is CPC. But why do these two things matter? CPM, just to make anyone not lost, CPM is cost per 1,000 impressions. And the difference between impressions and reach is say 50 people saw it 10 times. Your reach is 50 people. Impressions, on the other hand, is if 50 people saw it 10 times, your impressions is 500. So impressions is the amount of times someone saw it. Reach is the amount of times one person has seen your ad. And so here, for your CPM, you're paying for one person just seeing it, not for one brand new person, because the ad may show the same ad to that person over and over and over until they finally recognize it and submit the form. And so let's round back to the required budget and why is it so high for Google? See, for Google, your cost per clicks are pretty high. I mean, you could range from $30 to $100 per click, not per view, not per person who fills out the form, $30 to $100 per person who clicks on your ad, simply because it's just a headline, it's higher intent. So let's talk about intent. The intent for a Meta ad is you are finding people at the right time. You're finding people as they're interested in getting a new roof or a new water heater or whatever. You're finding people as they are interested in this. For Google Ads, you're getting people who are looking up roofing company near me. And so you can imagine that those keywords are going to be pretty expensive since it's pretty easy to get high quality prospects. That's why you're going to need a higher budget, because if you're just paying per click and your landing pages aren't going to convert at 80%, your landing pages are probably going to convert from 10 to 20%. So it's probably going to require 5 to 10 clicks to even get a conversion, which you need a handful of conversions every single week in order for Google to actually find more people like that. Or else you can run a very small budget. I wouldn't even recommend it nor do it. But if you did do a very small budget, it's going to take quite a while in order for Google to understand who are you even looking for, which is going to extend the process of this even working. And you may be 8 months in and the agency is like, okay, now your Google ad account is finally ready to start getting consistent conversions. And it's not that the agency decides that. Maybe you got lucky and 10 people clicked on it and 10 people converted. That's great. But the average is like 10 to 20%. And unless you have a very consistent and large amount of conversions, it's not going to know who to look for. And yes, you are showing up for people looking up roofing company near me, but Google also has seen your other search history. Google has seen your other search history and knows if you've been looking up recently, how much does a roof cost? How much does this cost? And it's all these roofing questions. It's going to know that you're a hot prospect and people are going to bid high for your search. For when you search it up, they're going to bid high to be at the top because they know you're actually interested. And Google knows that and that's how they have a higher bid on you. And so that's kind of why you need to spend more. And the intent type, as I mentioned, meta is you going out there and showing up. You're interrupting someone scrolling. And yes, it does work. Story Media does pay per lead for home improvement, and it works. It's possible. You can find people and you're interrupting that scroll. And then for Google Ads, you're just getting people looking up roofing company near me. But you're going to have to spend a lot more money on Google Ads. And then the very last one, your creative output. See, on Meta, you are engaging someone with your creative. So you're going to need more creatives than Google Ads because you don't really need any. So not really any creatives because all you have is a headline and a landing page. That's all the creatives that you have. And when we talk about Google Ads, I'm talking about search. So if it wasn't clear, I'm talking about search, not YouTube, simply search, which I made a different video about the different campaigns on Google. But back to what I was talking about. You're going to need a lot more creative output on Meta because ads fatigue. The Meta Andromeda update now puts a lot of that targeting on your creative. And on top of that, as I mentioned earlier, they fatigue. On top of that, you're going to need good creatives to keep people hooked on your video, explain your offer, and then get them to click on your landing page. And then from there, on your landing page needs to convert them. And so it's not a difficult process, but it requires you to make some creatives, or the agency makes some images and videos on your behalf. And sure, we may ask for a couple videos of your crew saying something or a photo with the homeowner, but you're going to need some level of creative output. And for Google, you don't really need that. So let's talk about when would I recommend Meta over Google Ads now that we have all this information. So I would recommend Meta for really anyone, any home improvement company that has good processes in terms of setting appointments and closing deals. If you don't have good processes to set appointments and close deals, don't do any marketing at all. You're going to waste your money. You're going to blame it on the agency. You're going to try another agency, wonder why that one didn't work, try another agency, wonder why that one didn't work, and then you're just going to keep trying 5 more agencies and then quit on marketing altogether. But you need to sometimes understand that if you don't have a good process of setting appointments and closing deals, no amount of marketing is going to work. So I recommend Meta for anyone, especially the people who are good at sales and are good at setting appointments, which I hope is you. And if it is you and you want more leads, then click the link in the description, book a call. We'd love to work with you. But I would also recommend you do Meta if you are willing to do videos and images or have an agency do videos and images on Meta and consistently media buy, which requires some level of skill. For Google, you could turn it on and just let it sit for a month because you need to let it sit to actually start seeing if it's going to work. Meta or Google is patience. Both of them are patience, but Google is a lot more patience than Meta. And so you need to be able to be comfortable to do some type of creative output, whether that's through an agency or yourself. And you need to be okay with people not 100% of the time booking an appointment and turning it into the biggest project you've ever seen. For Meta, you may not get those 100%, and for Google, you also will not get those 100%. Even if you target the luxury keywords, whatever your keyword is, including luxury, doesn't mean you're going to get the people looking for a jacuzzi bathtub for $10,000. You may not get that. So what I'm trying to say here is if you are interested in Meta, you need to be able to make creatives, you're okay with spending anything, and you're okay with having a good process so that you can consistently set and close deals. And as I mentioned, if you're a company who can consistently set appointments and close deals and are interested in getting more leads, then click the link in the description, book a call, and we'll talk to you soon.